And that's how I get to the answer of 23.1 meters per second.
I think you did that question wrong.
What do you mean it's close enough?
I think it was just luck. Your steps are completely different than the ones the teacher has on the board.
Yeah, but she's gonna tell us what to know for the exam anyway, so I don't actually have to know it.
Not all professors will give you a study guide like she does. What are you going to do for the CAM exam next week when you don't even get a study guide?
I thought all professors have to give you a study guide. Can't I just like go to their office hours and then tell me what's gonna be on the exam?
No, most professors won't do that. They want you to learn on your own. Some don't even create exams until the night before. So they might not even be able to give you any direction for the exam because they don't even know what's going to be on it yet.
Well, I could just cram for the exam the night before and then forget it like right afterwards.
Really? Okay, we'll see how that goes for you.
Let's take a second and talk about what just happened. Kate, in class, had no self-motivation when it came to learning the information that the professor was talking about.
She wasn't engaged with the information. She just wanted to memorize it and she thought that would just get her right through.
But memorizing, as we learn when we talk about the Briggs learning scale, doesn't have anything to do with actually learning and comprehending the information.
The expectation of a study guide in college is just not practical. That might have been something your high school professors did for you, but in college, it's not required, and very few professors will give you one. So, Kate's theory of a study guide, not a good one.
Okay, so I finished grading the exams. The average was lower than expecting.
Oh my god.
Alright, so I'm gonna hand them back. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Nice job.
Thank you. How did you do? Did your memorizing technique work for you?
No, it didn't work. The study guide was nothing like the exam, and I didn't remember anything by the time we had to take the exam, even though I remembered it all last night by like 2 a.m.
2 a.m.? You know sleep helps you retain the information, right?
Sleep is for after college, like when I'm dead.
If you say so.
What did you get anyways? How did you do that?
I actually pay attention in class and work with the information. I don't just memorize it, I learn it. I can show you if you want.
What are you asking her about? You got one wrong. Aren't you happy with that?
Yeah, I am, but there's always room for improvement. Plus, I want to know what I got wrong because it might be on the final.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, I have a question on number 7.
Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's take a second and talk about what Macy did to prepare for the exam.
She went to her professor's office hours to ask questions to make sure that she understood the information. Even though she was actively engaged in class and taking notes and following along with the professor, she still made time outside of class to go and clarify information.
Like going to study pods regularly, that was held outside of class. Another student who can maybe explain things on a little bit different level because they themselves are your peer, had them explain them to her.
Something else Macy did was she was self-motivated to complete her work. She wanted to do good and was motivated to put in the work to get the result that she wanted, which we saw that Kate wasn't, because she just sat there and didn't actively engage in class.
Macy completed extra practice problems. She went through the book, saw what the answers were, went back, checked again, and just kept doing trial and error until she got it right and she felt solid with the material.
Something else that was really important that Macy did was that she knew her study styles and her strengths. She didn't just pick one random study method and go for it, like the memorization method. She knew what she could do that helped her learn the best, and she knew what she needed to do to get those results. Something else that was really important that Macy did was that she knew how she learns best. She has certain study styles that she was able to apply to her studying that made it better for her and more effective for her to learning. Unlike just the memorized method, which somebody can pick at random, she actually knew what she needed to do to get the best results.
And she also adapted to that specific professor's studying style. You can't just have one uniform way of studying. You have to change and adapt your methods depending on the expectations and the requirements of the professor.
And since Macy was actively engaged in class, she knew what the professor was expecting based off of how the professor teaches.
The key here is active learning.
We were left off with saying that Macy was an active learner. Kate, on the other hand, was a passive learner. She didn't actively engage with the information. She expected it to be spoon-fed to her and for her to get a detailed study guide outlining exactly what she needed to know.
You have to be more in-depth and more detailed in order to be an active learner. Kate just was looking at the very surface of the material. She thought by looking at one thing, everything else would just come her way.